Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm your host, TobiWan.
And I'm the Capitalist.
And we get to bring you our one and only game today, because that's the way it works, Cap. We want to space out the goody goodness.
Yeah, make sure that everybody gets a chance to be able to watch a little bit of Dota 2 Champions League. Even if they have to work late one night, the next day, they've got another match waiting for them.
And then they'll have like VODs as well, even if you are working during the times of the broadcast. Let's actually have a look at the teams which are playing tonight. So we'll have RoXKIS being our first ones up to the plate, led by their Mon Capitan, Golblak, the Ukrainian. But there is definitely a lot of talent in this lineup too.
Yeah, absolutely. This whole entire team has so much potential on it. It's just unfortunate that they seem to be so hot and cold. Sometimes they just take it out of the park and are able to take some of the top tier 1 teams easily with really innovative drafts. Other times, they just kind of falter.
And of course, our other team is going to be Team Empire, the team which was undefeated until recently when the Sad Boys ended up being happy about defeating Team Empire 3-0. But Team Empire did end up playing a couple of games recently, and they are still looking in very good form. So it'll be a fun day today watching them play. I'm looking forward to some quick, good games. This is Russian Dota, man. Like, this is, while like RoXKIS might be led by a Ukrainian, there's 4 other Russians in that team right now. Kind of the same for Empire. Like, they got a couple of Ukrainians mixed up, but it's all. I would normally say it's all part of the same pot. But I know Russia and Ukraine. They
when
like
people get angry.
They like to remain separate, Russia and Ukraine, even though recent riots might have said something differently with the results of what happened there. But that's a completely different story. So let's focus on the story we do know, and that's the Dota 2 story. We'll be starting off with Team Empire over on the Dire side, RoXKIS over on the Radiant side, and we're starting off with the bands of Clockwork and Visage, as well as the BAME this early on. So,
yeah, RoXKIS love being able to run their Bane. So, taking that one out, Visage, kind of a standard support hero that a lot of people pick up. Now the Invoker banned out, and both teams. Pretty much everyone is kind of agreed that Invoker is just really obnoxious to deal with. The whole Quas Wex combo, Tornado EMP, is just so tough because if somebody picks it up early, you kind of have to draft your whole entire lineup based around that, whether that's a whole bunch of mana boots picked up, like 4 or 5 mana boots picked up for your team, or you pick up a team that actually has a high amount of mobility, that has a chance to be able to dodge it, or just heroes that don't care about mana, and that's not very many. That's like very, very few heroes that you could talk about that don't rely on their mana so heavily. So with the recent buff ups to Invoker, they pretty much just take them out of the pool consistently.
yeah, completely justified too. Golblak's going to be starting off with a Venomancer, and then the answer back is going to be Nyx. These 2 support heroes, like, I kind of wish we had Nahas here for a little bit, because these 2 guys have been seeing him left, right, and center in every single game. Venomancer's almost, he's a must-ban or a must-pick in this current meta, and Nyx Assassin's just the all-round nice, he's the all-rounder. Like, I don't know if we can use cricket terms or not. He's a batter, he's a bowler, he's a fielder. He does all 3 together beautifully, and together they win the World Cup.
I have no idea what that Aussie speak is, but yeah, I mean, Venomancer's being seen a lot more.
He's a pitcher, he's a batter, and he's a first baseman. Does that work for you?
Baseman.
I don't know. I'm just guessing. No, I watch baseball. I don't know the terms.
All right.
Sorry, he's the Babe Ruth of Dota. He's the Big Bambino.
No, not the Babe Ruth of Dota. That Babe Ruth,
the Colossus of Nyx.
He got fat and hit things. That's all he did. He didn't really.
Really? I thought he's like a legend.
Well, he is a legend for hitting things, not really for being all-rounder.
Well, Nyx hits things.
Nyx does hit things. Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say here, before we go on that tangent, is that with the rise of some heroes, you're going to have some heroes that were constantly banned out, like Venomancer is one of the supports that you see constantly banned out a couple weeks ago. But now that Invoker has reached that first ban stage, that means we're going to see some of those supports coming back into the pool. So that's why you're seeing so much Venomancer being picked up lately, because he's not immediately banned out. Now, Team Empire, their second pick here, Nyx Assassin, taking up the Ancient Apparition really, really early on here. I'm not a big fan of this because I feel that while Venomancer, you leave yourself open to highly mobile heroes since you've already picked up one of your supports with no disables. At least Venomancer has a really, really strong lane presence. I would classify him above the Ancient Apparition. Despite the power of Chilling Touch, I still say that the Venomancer is just leagues ahead of Ancient Apparition when it comes to lane control, and that's the biggest thing about support. So Ancient Apparition picked up this early, I feel, is very, very risky.
Yeah, see, at the same time, I would say it's not as risky yet, because I look at Team Empire's lineup, and it really sets up for Team Global. Like, if you throw a Nature's Prophet on that off lane, then you add a Nature's Prophet ulti, you add a Nyx Assassin instant hit, and then you got an Ancient Apparition who's got the Nyx Assassin do scouting for him. So the combinations later on are, in fact, really, really good. And in a way, too, it's also a block pickup against RoXKIS. We know these guys have been running Ancient Apparition almost non-stop. And the early level 1 fights, if you get a Venomous Gale off, and then you got a team with Chilling Touch in the back of them, that hero who's scaled up will be dead. Like, there is just no other way to survive that one. And Goblak has been known for drafting this very recently as well, where he's searching for these big openings. Unfortunately, when there is no opening made, RoXKIS end up falling off the rails a little bit. Like, there's a wheel loose, and they're just not quite sure where they're supposed to go. I remember 2 RoXKIS matches ago that I was casting, Goblak was playing the Ancient Apparition, and he ended up just sitting there in middle lane, giving Chilling Touch to Puck so he could get last hits. Like, that was his use in that game. And that's a real problem for RoXKIS. So if they don't get their good start, if they don't get the lanes, the combos they're really searching for, they doesn't really seem to have a way to come back. Where Team Empire, with an Nyx Assassin, with an Ancient Apparition, with one more global kind of guy, like Luna and Doom are being banned out by Goblak right now, which is really smart too, but I'd like to see Team Empire really just go on for the full Team Global and just try and nail anybody, because a hero like Venomancer, if you get hit by Nyx Assassin's ulti as well as the AA ulti, you're basically dead anyway. There's no real way to survive that, and your reaction time is probably not going to be that great. You get a Venom ulti off and a Gale. You won't get both the 2 abilities off before you're dead. But, yeah, I'm interested to see how Team Empire are going to combine up these 2 heroes. Well, RoXKIS, they've gone for the Gyro, they've gone for the Venomancer. Their teamfight control is really, really good right now between Cooldown and Venom ulti.
Yeah, I think that they're looking at they see the potential for kind of this global action, and if they pick up a Furion like you're talking about and the Nyx Assassin is already on the board, something that RoXKIS really have to be afraid of is splitting up too much and getting picked off. And while Gyrocopter, I think, is an okay pickup here because he's a hero that builds into BKB very, very quickly, very similar to a Luna in that regards, you get that fast BKB and you won't have to deal with that Ancient Apparition and that Nyx Assassin being able to throw down those nukes. So I think that's smart, but they definitely already have a very, very squishy lineup that Team Empire can exploit with both of those heroes already on the board. Forget about whatever else they're going to grab. So I'm a little bit concerned, but I think RoXKIS, they're looking at just picking up early BKBs on 1 or 2 of their cores and 5-manning down. Even with the Ancient Apparition ultimate hitting, they have to be more aware. Like, the AA ultimate in big 5-on-5 team fights sucks, but at the same time, it's even worse getting picked off by Nyx Assassin and have the AA ult hitting you as well. So at least the 5v5, you have a chance to be able to win. The single engagements that Team Empire are looking for, it's kind of overwhelming as it stands right now. And all right, we're going to see Dazzle back.
It's an Empire hero through and through.
Yeah.
I'm still interested to see how they want to try and combo it, because this wasn't really the secondary support I was looking for. His synergy with the Ancient Apparition isn't really that amazing. I know, like the Cold Feet into the poison, you might be able to get it triggered if you could just waste a fraction of time for that hero that's caught inside of that. But we're not looking at roaming ganking. This almost feels like a very passive start to Team Empire. They're not looking to go out there and instantly kill people. You could do it at level 1. Like, the level 1 fight for Team Empire is quite strong, but the same can be said about RoXKIS as well. So we may just see a full 5v5 clash. With an Enchantress now coming up for RoXKIS, yeah, I think they're feeling the same thing I am. With Team Empire, they want to play a little bit more passive in the early stages of the game and then transition into a timing attack. So RoXKIS going to try and make the most out of that. Pull out the jungle, make a lot of farm, then add some pressure towards that bottom tower.
Yeah, Enchantress is definitely a hero that if you want to really dominate the laning phase, you've already got Venomancer now picking up an Enchantress as well. Again, no lockdown yet on RoXKIS, which Team Empire immediately, like, you see your second support and you realize there are no stuns between those two. Like Storm Spirit, Queen of Pain, those kind of heroes instantly become high priority. And Team Empire, despite the fact that they've got a little bit of squishy lineup here, this highly mobile Storm Spirit pickup is really, really strong. And it gives them a little bit more global power, too, as well.
Yeah, this is it's a very smart pickup here for Team Empire. And it does start to reveal a little bit more about our lanes as well. I know with the American thing, you're always like, yes, only mid Dazzle for the win. In this case, though, it should be a Nyx Assassin going for a solo lane. I'm not too like, yay about Nyx Assassin going for an offlane for Team Empire. I feel this almost has to be an aggressive tri-lane with a Dazzle and AA together with a +1. Because the Nyx Assassin, up against both an Enchantress as well as a Venomancer, there's just too much potential to be controlled and killed. Yeah. Where if you find yourself in a matchup where you're going one-on-one with somebody, and with the Nyx Assassin, you kind of don't really care who it's going to be. Like, if it's a Timbersaw offlane, you just mana burn him down so he can't attack you directly, and then just play a CS war and wait for the Storm Spirit to rotate up, or the AA and the Dazzle to come in and help you out for that one. Like, these are basically, the things that can work for Nyx on a safe lane. But that means the Team Empire need an aggressive hero that can go on the offlane, and also a hero that has a level of control, something that will work with the Dazzle as well as the AA. That kind of synergy is a little bit harder, because you basically then have to say Team Empire need a stun on that offlane.
I still think they're going to go for a carry here. I definitely agree. Like, Nyx Assassin offlane is going to have a really hard time here, because Nyx Assassin is a decent offlaner, but he's best versus nukes because he throws down that spike carapace to try and dodge a majority share of that damage that's coming out from that nuke. Here, damage over time and slows are really, really good versus Nyx Assassin, because what is he going to dodge? He's going to dodge an auto attack from both Enchantress and Venomancer with that spike carapace. Guess what? He buys himself half a second of time. He's still slowed at that point in time. Yeah. You know, he's still massively slowed. He's not getting anywhere, and those auto attacks keep on coming. So I think he is going to have a really hard time, but looking at the overall draft of Team Empire, I feel they do need something extra here, and I'm not going to find that in an offlaner. I think that RoXKIS right now, they have good enough team fight, and they've got late game with Gyrocopter right now that Team Empire, if they're solely looking at pickoffs, then they need to have a hard carry farming up somewhere else, or they need some solid push if they're going to use that pickoff potential to its max. So I think they do need a carry here still. And I'm honestly thinking of something like a hard carry. I would love to see like a Faceless Void right now because the AA synergy, but instead we're going to go see a Weaver, and this is interesting.
Yeah, this now makes us question the lanes, because we know Weaver can go, he's a semi-carry. He's a semi-carry kind of hero. If you look for early kills from a Weaver, you got to have those lockdown kind of supports. Having Dazzle and AA together, unless you make Weaver very, very, like, the amount of damage going to come out of that lane is quite good. Because when you get to level 2 on them, you can have Weaver with Shikuchi as well as Gemnet Attack. Now, you've already got the Ancient Apparition buffing them up. Then you've got the Cold Feet on top of that. Add Poison and add Heal. Because Weaver with Shikuchi will be right next to the enemy hero. So you've got this bonus damage all kicking in right there. Catching someone out of position with that is going to be difficult. If they do, they're dead. Like, Enchantress will not survive long, same for Yol as that Venomancer. It's going to be a very, very, very rough run right now for RoXKIS. But I really do hope that Empire run this aggressive tri-lane. A Nyx Assassin being down there with a Dazzle and AA, I don't know. I don't really feel that it's going to be enough for them. They've got to send the Weaver down south. But at the same time now, you get a Wind Ranger on the off lane. Nyx Assassin can be completely harassed down that top lane if he's not careful up against that Wind Ranger.
Yeah, absolutely. This is something that, looking at the first 3 picks of the draft, it's very interesting because you see how RoXKIS have no disables and Team Empire start immediately picking up 2 different heroes that really exploit that, both Weaver and Storm Spirit. However, RoXKIS did a really good job with their last 2 picks making up for that fact. You've got your Puck middle, who is pretty much all the disables you could ever ask for versus a Weaver or a Storm Spirit. So that's a really strong pickup by them. And then Wind Ranger, a big, solid disable that if they're able to land those shackle shots, and Seedoy is very, very good on his Wind Ranger, you expect that. If he's able to land those shackle shots, it does make up for everything that they were lacking in their first 3 picks. So I like RoXKIS' lineup a lot more. I thought that Empire was winning the draft in the first 3 pickups, but now I'm not too sure. That being said, Weaver is still a pick that's exploiting RoXKIS' lack of disables from their first 3, and it's also really good versus Gyrocopter because Weaver excels at being able to, he just does physical damage. He does nothing else, and he excels at being able to put down single target physical damage very, very early on. And Gyrocopter is actually pretty weak versus that because he's, again, a hero like Luna who tends to pick up an early BKB and maybe build a little bit of stats like a drums or something like that. But he mainly just relies on that BKB for his survivability. If Weaver is building into that straight physical damage, that's not something that Gyrocopter is very adept at being able to deal with, especially since he doesn't have the chance to be able to pop that Weaver, because it's pretty obvious when that flat cannon damage comes in, exactly when you need to pop that ultimate on Weaver and get a second life and just keep on going for Gyrocopter. So I really like Empire's lineup. I think they did a great job in their last two. And but RoXKIS still have a really good lineup that needs to be feared. The biggest thing is whether or not Scandal is going to have a good time in this middle lane.
Well, right now I think he's going to have a decent time. I was actually expecting this ward to be blocking up both of the camps. That's why I was highlighting it before. It was a really smart move coming out from Mag. He tried to walk himself through this tree line, and he ended up cutting a tree just around the corner here, and then planting down the ward in the middle of the tree line. But it looks like it's just a little bit too far south to block up that camp, a little bit vertical. But at the same time, he still removed one of the camps, and it's only going to be having the Alpha Wolf. So that's not something which will zone out Resolution in this middle lane. And Resolution will really be looking to hit hard, get up to that bottle, and then just nail in to whatever hero we can find. While Mag here on the bottom lane, he's managed to crack level 2. So he's leveled up his stun at least, trying to battle head-to-head here with Yol. And, well, Mag, it's a very good thing that it was Poison, which Venomancer went first, because if that was a Gale as well, I suppose we wouldn't have seen as much damage there, but Gyro could have easily moved up.
Yeah, Mag does the smart thing where he realizes he needs to get level 2. It's absolutely necessary. He gets level 2 before the Enchantress attempts to gank this bottom lane. So he cops a little bit of damage. He fights Venomancer while being in experience range, picks up that level 2, and now he feels a little bit safer in lane. He had to blow a lot of regen to be there because that poison attack coming out from Venomancer is very, very obnoxious to deal with, but it's still a really smart play by him. So now he's even picking up a counter ward from the courier, and he's going to go ahead and try and block up that medium camp, I believe.
Oh, go to town, man. Go to town.
I'm not sure if he's really going to be able to block the one pull camp. I was thinking maybe just block up the medium camp, and that just denies a little bit extra. But we'll have to see. This is going to be a pretty risky play if Mag tries to make his way into the pull camp all the way over here.
He's just going to get rid of this ward on the lane. So with the DD rune, it's only going to take 2 hits to get rid of it. And y'all can't really do much more about that. So that at least removes the vision of this Nyx Assassin on the off lane. I want to give a big warning. Warning, I think is the best way of putting it. A warning. If you want to load up a website, we'll be giving away 30 rares this evening here on the live stream, courtesy of Dota 2 Lounge. So if you go to dota2lounge.com/giveaway and be ready to enter in the 4 combination code, you can put that in, and you'll be walking away with 10 rares if you're the first one to enter the code in. So I'll be saying that combination here on the live stream in a couple of minutes' time. And then all you got to do is just enter it in and hopefully win yourself some rares. It's that simple. Shout out to Dota 2 Lounge. Is also sponsoring or supporting the D2CL.
Easiest rares of life.
It really is, actually.
Well, Cito is about to pick up a lot of experience here, and Empire have no way really to push him out. He's got a large wave coming in. They were able to do a little bit of a hard pull, so they pulled half of it, which is nice.
Keep half of it away. They won't be able to pull the rest of it, but it keeps the creep wave up at least so it doesn't come in range of the tower. But this Wind Ranger on the offlane is 4 for 1 right now, up against a Weaver who's 23 for 7. Silent is getting so fat, and he's sitting at 1,200 gold as well, so we assume we're going to be looking at a hand of Midas over onto that Weaver. So quick, hard, easy farm coming in for a Weaver. The Storm Spirit who's 17 for 2 up against a 17 for 6. So it's quite an even battle there in the middle lane with Scandal going up against Resolution. And the offlane Mag, he's managed to pick up 3.5 levels. I know Wind Ranger's also done the same, in fact, just a little bit ahead in the levels. And Nyx Assassin's only got 1 last hit, but at the same time, Nyx is hitting level 6 is so much more effective than Wind Ranger hitting level 6.
Oh, look at this. Yol's actually babysitting the Haste Rune. Resolution is in for a...
He's going to jump for it.
Poor surprise. He doesn't have his level 6 yet. Now he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, that Gale was able to connect, so Scandal able to slow him down, and Resolution doesn't have a level 6. Advanced score, Shallow Grave comes in at the perfect time. Remember, there's still poison on him, so he has to TP himself back out to base. So Resolution will be okay. And Vanskor there to save the day at the right time. At the same time, though, down the bottom lane, able to get a solo kill out in a gyrocopter. How is that even possible?
I I honestly don't know. I was too busy focusing on that Storm Spirit like you were, expecting that he was going to go down, but really great save there from Vanscore, teleporting in, throwing down that Shallow Grave, and the immediate teleport as well was all very, very smart decisions from the team. But still, it means Scandal's going to be winning his lane. He's going to pick up his level 6 a little bit earlier before Storm Spirit can, and this is an opening now. If they want to force these two supports to rotate over, they can try and pick off Resolution before he has his ultimate.
Man, I just can't believe that BZZ had that happen to him on the bottom lane. Like, he was winning on the C, yes. He's behind a little bit on the experience, but that's fair enough considering they were having an extra hero on that bottom lane. But this is Nyx Assassin. You would have basically had to walk into his Spike Carapace, attack him, and maybe even be underneath the tower at some point in order for Nyx Assassin to have the DPS to kill him off. That's a huge loss right there for RoXKIS. Like, that right there is going to completely tip the balance of this game. Because Weaver's already won this top lane, and he's won it big in comparison to the Gyro. Like, Gyro's got a lot of deniers down here, but having that Death's going to take away a large portion of his gold, and also give a huge amount of experience and just rush up the level 6 of the Nyx Assassin. While Weaver's running ahead of Maya, so he'll be able to keep up with the money. And there's no Mayas coming out from Gyro, so he's really behind the 8 ball now, as far as the carry for RoXKIS goes. The DPS are going to take even longer to get up.
Yeah, pretty much Mag essentially got 2 levels off of that kill because after he killed the Gyrocopter, he has enough lane presence to stay there. And looks like RoXKIS are going to go smoke up.
We have ourselves a little bit of an issue for the moment. So,
oh, I'm not getting that.
Just a quick drop. Yeah, you're not getting that, but the live stream's getting that as well. So we have an internet drop for the moment.
Interesting. All right, well, RoXKIS right now, they're having their 2 supports, Enchantress and Venomancer. They rotated into top lane because they wanted to smoke up and gank up middle. They didn't find it, so instead they go top. And now, unable to find anything, they just show themselves in lane, which means Cedo is going to be able to have a little bit better time in this lane, picking up easier CS with 2 supports backing him, but they're not making much out of their movement so far, and they really needed to. And Mag has actually already rotated to top. He's vendetted up, and he's looking to gank this tri-lane. And if he can lead with a good Impale, they could easily pick up 2 different heroes here, and that's going to be big. Always Wanna Fly is backing up as well. Chilling Touch, Vendetta goes down, and Cedo is practically dead already. Pick it up, 1 more auto attack from Silent's going to be able to grab that, and now it's just a free kill for Silent, who was already extremely farmed, already had his Midas and everything, is now going to be able to pick up a couple more stat items just to be able to ensure he has even more lane dominance.
I would like to add more to it, man, but with that internet, I can't really add much more to that.
Are you trapping frames? I'm so confused.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
All right. So,
are you
no, we're not back yet.
Okay.
We're not back yet. So I'm going to cut the VOD here as well, guys. So I apologize for that. We'll be back in a moment.